This is a snack. They actually have turtle food that I give them. Dried shrimp and nutritional little sticks. But this I like to put out when I'm out here with them. So they don't really go for it right away. Well, let me introduce you to them first of all. Come here, baby. This is Sheldon. This is Sheldon. Sheldon, actually, I just had to do first aid on him, and I don't know anything about turtle first aid.
What do you
but
mean?
You see that little thing by his eye?
Yeah.
It was bleeding 2 days ago. Apparently, he was after her, and she got tired of it, and she actually nipped him. Because he's always going after her.
Uh-huh.
As a matter of fact, the story with this was, I got Sheldon when he was just a few months old. That was 18 years ago this weekend. So he was a little bit of a thing. He was about the size of a $50. And it was a little girl, Shelly, and I had her for 6 years. And I said, you know, nobody should be alone that long. So I went to get her a boyfriend. And I couldn't find, at the time, I couldn't find one like the right size, the right sex. So I brought her a little sister, right? I brought you home a little sister. And what did you do? You mounted her. I found out you were a boy. So that's how I found out after 6 years that Shelly became Sheldon. So he's the patriarch. He's a what I think is a painted turtle. There's different breeds. This one I believe is a painted turtle.
Okay. Because of the markings.
The markings you can see, and the way. And I didn't know this because I was learning as you go. And back, 18 years ago, there wasn't that much on turtles on the internet. So anyone I talked to, they said, if you learn anything, tell us. We'd like to publish it.
Uh-huh.
So I was learning little by little, and I did find out that you can tell a male because their nails are longer than the females, and he actually, I just noticed, does not have some of his nails. So I don't know if this is natural. So that's for holding on when they mate. Their stomach is a little bit more concave than a female's, also for mating, and their tail, so he's probably not too happy, and their tail is thicker. That's how you tell a male from a female. Now you're going to see his wife. So this is Sheldon, and he's 18 years old. Valley. We got her in Valley Stream, so this is Valley. Valley is 6 years old. She's a painted turtle. Let's come on, say hello to your friend. That's your sister. That's your sister. Yeah. And oh, there's little bubbles coming out of her nose. How cute. So Valley is 6 years old, and 6 years old is when they start laying eggs. Now they don't need a male to lay eggs. Over the course of 3 weeks, she laid 13 eggs because they have no maternal instincts. They lay the eggs, and that's it. That their job is over. See how pretty she is? She's got the most beautiful green eyes.
Look at that.
Listen to that. So and you can see she's a red ear slider because you can see
let's wait till they stop.
Okay. Eggs, but they won't be viable eggs. There will be no hatching. So I don't know if that's the case with my eggs, but out of 13, I have 3. 2 of which I think are very close to hatching, if they're going to be viable. One of them is not doing too well. So, but said most of them she had stomped on before I even got them. Now the eggs are a whole different story in itself. As I go, like I said, it's not necessary to have a male for a female to lay eggs. She'll lay eggs anyway, with or without a male. Whether they're actually fertilized is another story. Now I've been told 2 different species, a painted and a red-eared slider, cannot produce a turtle. Others say that they can. There's so much misinformation, contradictory information on the internet about it. Last year is the first time she laid the eggs, and they were no good. This is the first time that I actually, and here they are. This is the product of their love. Let me hold it. Now, if you'll see, this one most likely is no good. These 2 have a good chance, if they are viable eggs, of hatching and producing little turtles. Now, the gestation or the incubation period for turtle eggs is very... Watch out before you step behind you. He's right there again. They can go from, I've been told, 60 to 80 days up to 6 months. So I don't know when they're going to hatch, if they're going to hatch. But every day for the past 8 weeks, well, actually since April 23rd, I've been watering them, spraying them with water, incubating them, keeping them warm. So this is a ritual. Yeah,
Okay. So about the...
But they only lasted 2 or 3 months. So to have one for 18, when I was at the vet with the dog, a woman was telling me her friend has one that's 30 years old. So there's a very good chance I'm going to have to write them into my will. Because they'll probably outlast me. They outlasted their father. So they'll probably outlast me now.
You have to will them to someone?
The eggs on the other hand, even under the most optimum conditions, are very hard to have hatchings. If you turn them, from the minute they're laid, if you turn them over, you kill them. If the temperature isn't optimum, you kill them. If it gets dried out, the egg gets dry. There's so many variables against their survival. So what I'm doing is keep my fingers crossed, and I'm hoping that I'll do the best for them. What was I going to say? He's so small. I don't know if he can reach where he has to reach.
Huh?
Huge. Turtle penises are enormous. The interesting thing about turtle eggs and or the sex of the turtle is the temperature. The temperature of their environment, humidity, temperature, dictates the sex of the animal. So if it's at like the low 70s to mid 70s, and I'm not sure which way I have it, backwards or forwards, but let's say it's like 72 to 78, it'll be a male. Anything higher than that will be female. Now that could be reversed, I'm not sure. But yeah, no, it's been a really interesting journey, and I'm learning a lot. And as time goes on, I'm learning that there's a lot more information on the internet than there was 18 years ago. But a lot of it is hit and miss. I must be doing something right. They're still alive.
Exactly. What if they get a baby?
If they get a baby, I'm definitely keeping it. I don't know if I'll keep 2 of them because I already have a few people that want one. So, like I said, I'm only expecting 2 out of the 3, if any, to actually hatch.
But those eggs, they look just like that when they're not viable, just like that?
Yes.
So you've done this process before?
Yes, and I've also watched hours and hours of video on hatchings and incubations, mating, all that. Although I don't need to watch a video on mating, he's always at it. So,
Wait, how do they come out again?
the eggs?
Yeah, remember you had told me that part?
Well, it's amazing to have 13 eggs of that size, and you only can see,
Yeah.
part of the egg. See how big they are. To have 13 in there, she laced them just like, it was like 1 here, then she'll have 2, then, it can be anywhere from 1 to 3 at a clutch they saw. Well, a clutch is actually the whole pregnancy period. So her clutch lasted for 3 weeks. And that time she laid 13 eggs. So, yeah, it's amazing. I was just thinking, wow, it's got to hurt to have all those eggs.
How do you know that they're not viable?
I don't.
So, but some
The only
eventually...
way to do it is to wait the incubation period, which, last night I read that it could take up to 9 months. I'm sorry, 6 months. I'm going to wait. If they don't rot in that time, I'm going to wait the 6 months. If nothing happens, I'll bring them to the vet. There's a vet in the neighborhood that deals with reptiles, and I'll have to have them x-rayed. I don't want to do that now. This is the first time they've been moved since they were laid. So any movement can kill them. And I'm not talking about this way, like moving the whole tub. If you turn it, you cannot turn it, you'll kill them. So they're very, very hard to get the optimum conditions. But I'm trying, and so far so good.
But each year, have you gotten a batch?
Last year was her first one. Because she was still a little young and not fully matured, I think they weren't any good. When I got home from work, they were already broken. in the water. There's yolk in them, but whether they, I mean, I have pictures I wanted to give you, stills of
Okay.
the eggs and everything. So I'm going to be as surprised as you are what happens here.
And how long has it been already?
Today is 81 days.
And it could be up to 6 months.
It could be up to 6 months, but the most I'm hearing or reading is anywhere from 70 days to 120 days. So that narrows the window a little bit.
And you're already at 81.
I'm at 81. So we're getting into that period where I feel like an expectant mother. I don't know if today is going to be the day. Or is it going to be, you know, another 3 weeks from now or another 2 months from now? But I'll just keep moistening the soil and keeping them warm and incubating them until that time comes. Excuse me.
What, I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, I don't know if you have any questions. Come here. Want to come up? Come up. When they're first hatching, they have a tooth, which later falls off, and that's for use in cutting through the shell. So the actual process of coming out of the egg could take a day or two. It's a long process. And once they come out, it's not uncommon for them to not eat for the first 2 weeks of their life. They come out with an egg sac on them or a yolk sac on them, and they use that for nutrition for a while until they eventually start eating on their own. And after that, they can. I will never feed them live bait. I mean, a lot of people have turtles and they give them, you know, little goldfish or the, you know, little pinkies. I could never do that. So the only thing that I will give them is fish. I'll give them, you know, I'll go to the store, buy fish, cut it up and give it to them that way. And then I swirl the water around so they have to actually chase it. Oh, I have fun with them. So they think that they're, you know, they're in a battle for survival over here, trying to get their food. And
That's good.
yes, turtles and alligators have really not changed over, you know, millennium. So they just fascinate me. Turtles, they're the most passive animals, and it's so funny because people would not think that they have personalities. The first week, or first couple of weeks that we had, at the time was Shelly, first couple of weeks we had Sheldon. He was a little bit of a thing, and we had, you know, the huge tank set up with the rocks and you know, the foliage and the heater and the waterfall, and he hated it. He would destroy the rocks. He was always trying to get out, always, you know, clawing at the glass to get out. So we would rearrange it and try to think, well, maybe he'll like it this way. I mean, we catered to this. My husband used to go around looking for dead flies and try to feed it. And he did. Of course, that didn't work because we were learning as we went along. But at one point, I looked at my husband and I said, David, you have got to see this. Here's Shelly. She's a little bit of a thing, maybe the size of $50, with one claw holding on to a rock, bobbing in the water because we're bobbing her. She just gave us a look like, will you cut it out? If it was a human, I would know exactly what this look was. It was shortly after that, and just cleaning the tank was a horror. They have to think of a new system on cleaning these turtle tanks because it's very smelly and it's very difficult to maneuver a huge tank to clean it out. We put him in the tub. Him. I keep calling her, you know, even after 18 years, I still call him her. We put him in the tub, and he was the happiest little turtle. I have everything set up in there for him, and at night I have a tank. When I take my shower, I take them out, rinse out the tub, take my shower, and then put them back in. And I don't always have water. They need time to dry out, so I have a log, something like the one in there, but it's an actual log. It's a natural log that they sell in the stores. I keep that with the basking light, the the UV light. So not only do they swim, they come out, they need to dry off too, to protect the shell. If they don't ever dry out, if they're always in water, they get a fungus. These are the two of the healthiest turtles. I've really never had any problem except with this recently, a couple of days ago, where she bit him. And I had to get his little neck and put a little Neosporin on it. And to do that, I had to find out how do you give first aid to a turtle. Because he was bleeding. I felt so bad. He was bleeding. And he's got another one on his neck. So found out you have to put the Neosporin on them, put them in dry dock, do not let them get back into the water, which of course is contradictory information. So I went for the dry dock theory, and it worked. He's looking much better because that could have gotten very infected. He could have lost his eye. So I was successful in treating him. Oh, I just take the log, put it in the bathroom sink, and I put the turtles in. I have a carrier, turtle carrier. Like if I've brought them to the park before, but I was always afraid to let them. I don't know what natural defenses they have against, outdoors. I'm sure they do, but because they've grown up in captivity, I don't know if they've developed these immunities. So I'm very overprotective about putting them out. But my husband was in the process of developing a leash for them so I could take them to the park. Actually, that's one of the things that with females, when you know that they're actually pregnant with eggs, they get very agitated. They try to get out. So what I had to do was I had to get a bigger tank than that. I filled it with 50-50. What is that? It's not sand. Petramol? No, not Petramol. Oh, I forget the name of it now. Anyway, it was a mixture of dirt and I can give you the word when I remember it. As soon as I took her out of the tub, which she was very agitated, and I'm understanding now that she has eggs. She had already, now by this time she had laid 1 or 2, trampled them, and I said, okay, we're going to put you in the right environment. She would dig herself into a hole in the dirt and stay there. The first time I saw that, I said, I killed her. Her head, everything was underneath the dirt. So I'm over there frantically pulling the dirt away, and she looked up and was like, what the hell are you doing? I annoyed her. She walked over to the other corner, dug herself in, and that's usually where they'll stay in there, and she was so much more calm. That's what she needed. She needed to feel. When they do lay them in the water, the egg will suffocate. It needs air. So the last 2 that are in there, I was there like a second after she laid them. So I got a spoon and I made sure I didn't turn them over. I got a spoon and gently took them out, laid them down before they drowned or before they turned. That's why I'm thinking I might have a chance. I might have a chance with these 2 if they're fertilized.
Because maybe.
This is a sad story. Sheldon had a previous wife, Betsy, who we had for 7 years. We had Betsy as a baby too. We got her on 4th of July, so we named her Betsy Ross. So Betsy, again, I had her for 6 years, and then all of a sudden she reached maturity, and I'm learning this, and she laid a couple of eggs. And then I found out, Betsy did not make it. Betsy passed. She got bound up. The eggs can get bound up in them, and it'll kill them. So, I mean, she could have laid the eggs in the water like this one did, and I could have taken them out, but they got bound. And if they crack inside of them, I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong. Just like with a woman, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, but Mother Nature sometimes prevails, and things come out fine.
Right.
So that was a tough day when we had to bury Betsy in a little corner by a wall, and I put up a little headstone for her. So I'm sure I got washed away with Sandy because that whole area got flooded. But yeah, she was a good one. Personalities on these turtles are unbelievable. Yeah, he mourned, and like I said, the first time I brought this one home too. Hello, I'm your husband. I'm taking charge. No, it wasn't his. Because when I go into the bathroom, brush my hair, whatever, he comes swimming over and he sticks his head out. Or if he's sleeping, I can even say, Jelly, or I call him Jelly Belly. He'll wake up, turn his head, and he just listens to every word I say. So he actually interacts. They interact. She's recently learned her name. Yeah. So,
how do you know?
Because she responds. She'll turn her head towards me. Since her pregnancy and laying the eggs, she has got such a warmer disposition. She was always very frightened of everything. Now I handle her all the time, and I think it was the process of putting her from the water into her nesting area that she learned to trust me more. She was always very standoffish, but now she's just lovable. So I'm seeing her evolve also. And the reason she didn't really care for me, it's like, all right, I'll keep my distance, I'll keep you alive, but I don't want to upset you. So I would talk to her and I would try to handle her, and she just wanted nothing of it. Now she'll fall asleep in my hand, so I'm so happy about that. Oh yeah, he always loved David. Yeah, but she didn't like me. I won her over. I won over her confidence. Oh, look. I've never seen that. Oh, how cute. Don't move. That's the baby. There's a family in there.
She's probably so small she doesn't even realize.
Be someone that it's usually. Oh, what's this? What's this? Oh my goodness, what is it? It's food. Come on, Ice Cube, come here. No, what has she got? He's looking at you. He doesn't know if the camera is. Come here, get Ice Cube. Come on. Come up. Get set. Go. Yay, you got it. But will you be okay to drive?
Well, only have a little. I just have a hit.
Okay.
I don't.
It's melatonin. It's like 3 different natural ingredients.
Nothing.
Benadryl was working better.
Didn't even touch you?
No, not enough to get me tired. I went to the doctor for it. They wanted to put me in sleep therapy for like 2 weeks. I can't leave 2 weeks.
Right.
So they prescribed Ambien.
Does that work?
Thank God. Well, that worked like a charm to a certain extent. My sister was. I tried it over the weekend because I didn't want to try it during the week while I was working. So I tried it over the weekend. My sister comes over the weekend. So I woke up Sunday morning. It's just stomach ache. She goes, no doubt. She goes, you ate last night? What do you mean? She goes, look at the sink. There were dishes piled upon dishes. She said, you were sitting at the kitchen table with a can of peas and a spoon with your eyes closed. I was sleeping. And that's one of the side effects of that.
Are you
I
kidding?
made myself so sick and I had no recollection whatsoever that I was eating.
So that's not a great one for you.
That was the first and last time I took it. If I didn't see the dishes, I would never have believed it. Well, except for the stomach ache.
Well, and she told you.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, I would have been yelling at my mother, "Oh, you leave all your dishes in the sink all night."
That is weird that you had that. Come here. Come here,
Yeah,
silly.
so we don't know when the blessed event is going to happen. So, how is you moved, right? Right next door. And Grandma used to have a Salamaria down in the basement, and Mom used to be in charge of the pickle bowl, pickle barrel, and the lemon ices, which usually disappeared before the people came to buy them. My grandmother had 13 children, not all survived, so Grandpa planted a lot of the trees that are across the street, and my family has been on this block for nearly over 100 years. I won't say on film how old Mom is, because if she ever sees it, the film, she'll kill me. I'll respect her for that, but she's old.
Are you going to leave this block?
I look forward to the day when I can leave this block, because this block is no longer the block I grew up on. It's totally changed. The demographics have changed. Everything's changed about it. We used to be the real, typical Italian neighborhood where all the neighbors came out and hung out together on the stoop at night. Kids were playing in the street. Who's making the coffee, who's bringing the cake, and to this day, those people are still, I consider them my relatives, we're still in touch. But everyone has left the block. Everyone has left.
Why do you
One
think
of
they
the only
left?
ones- there's only 2 families on the block now that have been here for a while, but nobody as long as the Colombo family. So, but I do look forward to one day getting out of here. Someday in the future, where I can work with animals. Any jobs out there? Give me a call. Baby, take care of me mode. He's not in his... There he is. Oh, dog glurb on the face. Nothing better than dog glurb on the face. You like, you give me dog glurb? Yeah. He's getting all excited. On the mark. Get set. Go! Yay! He did it! He did it! He did it! He did it! You bite me, I'm gonna bite. And I do, I bite him. This is my day. This is what I love to do.
A little.
I'm gonna kiss you. I'm gonna kiss you. Don't hit me. Give me a kiss. You don't want to give me a kiss? Come on, give me a kiss. I'm gonna kiss you. Ah. One more. Give me a kiss. Stay with your mommy. Stay with your mommy.
Family portrait.
You do a lot
3 generations.
Right. But parallel parking isn't one of them. You're either too far from the curb or too close to...
No. I mean, well, I look like a jerk lying on the floor going, and he's just sitting there. This was Sheldon when I first got him. This is how big he is. He was. And I wanted to do, you know, consecutive, you know, concentric lines going outward, but it didn't work. So you could see this was July 96, September 96, October, November, December, January 97, and I stopped at 390, you know, March of 97. So he was just about, he's a little bit big. I probably could use a last one.
Because they stopped growing after.
Yeah, so this is like a collection over, 13 years. 18 years. Valley. And most of them, you know, I just throw them out, a lot of them. But when I see a nice one that comes off in a nice piece, I'll save it.
So these are...
As they were growing up, as they were actually growing, you would see the bands get separated. So I knew that they were going through a growth spurt because you could actually see. It's like when you know your roots are growing out. You could see that difference in coloration, and eventually the old one would shed off, and you'd have the new one underneath. So it was really interesting.
Yes, cool.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, I probably will start giving up hope on any viable eggs after about 6 months, because I've heard anywhere from 70 days up until 6 months if you read the internet. So and it depends on so many variables: humidity, moisture, temperature. So after 6 months, I think that's long enough time to have hope. And at that point, I won't give up until I actually bring him to the vet and get an X-ray to see if there is anything in there. Because I could be sitting on eggs that will never, that will never hatch. So I'm going to do this for at least another 3 months, spraying them every night, incubating them, warming them,
Loving them.
talking to them.
If they're there, they hear you.
Oh, and another thing I said, it's not like a chicken egg where you can hold it up to a certain light and actually see some movement. The shell casing is made from a different material than an eggshell, chicken egg. So you can't see what's in there. The only way to do it through an X-ray, and at this stage, if they're still developing, I wouldn't want to expose them to the radiation. So I'll only do that as a last resort before I finally realize that there might not be anything in there.
How much do you think it costs to get an X-ray on a
Who
turtle
knows?
egg?
But, I mean, this guy cost me $1,000 this week. You think I'm going to worry about it?
I'm just curious.
That's a very good question. Every step of the way I've gone, like just when I was doing first aid on him the other day, I didn't know about it until he got hurt. She took a bite out of him, and I had to learn right then and there. It worked. He's getting better. So as far as costs on turtle care, for X-rays, I have no idea. I'll learn as I go. It's all a learning experience, and a fun one. I got him on July 23rd. Today is July 19th. So it's almost 18 years to the day this weekend that I got him. So he's my baby. So we're just trying to figure out how long this whole documentary might take, because it could be another 3 months, Could be tomorrow, could be another 3 months before they hatch. But we'll always have another chance on it because turtles can have up to 2 or 3 clutches, which is a pregnancy and egg hatching, egg delivery. 2 or 3 of them a year. So we will see what happens. The story continues. Outcome, well, it wouldn't be a sad outcome because she doesn't care about them. The mother doesn't care about them. I'm sure I care about them more than her, but if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. It's just part of nature, and we just have to take it with a grain of salt. But I'll try my best and keep my fingers crossed that there's a little turtle. I will be upset, but I've been through this before, so I'll keep trying.
You'll handle it.
I'll handle it. Yeah. It's been fun. If nothing else, it's been fun. It's given me a lot of experience and knowledge that I didn't have before. So, and thanks to the internet, which can be confusing at times. There's a lot of information on there, very contradictory, but in a pinch when I needed the first aid information, it was there and it helped. So going to school. Ooh, show Lynn. Show Lynn.
Hey, friend.
He does his Three Stooges routine. Woo! He's like cats. Yeah, stray cats down the block. So every night we have our routine. We go for a walk. I bring my little bag of food. We feed the cats, right? I hate to say, but it's not nice. But it was a pigeon, and I was like, thank God it wasn't one of the kittens. Then I felt so bad for the pigeon. I was like, all day long I was crying over this dead cat. Meanwhile, it wasn't one of them, thank God, because I've seen them. I mean, she gave birth to one litter that did not survive in my backyard, so she's been around for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. These cats actually come out now and greet me. They won't let me touch them. And yesterday I drove down the block and I saw one in the street flat. I can't tell you, all day long I was like driving around with tears in my eyes. If you don't mind me asking, what did you do right now? Taxes. But they were paying me more money than I was working at Saatchi. Your mommy. Stay with your mommy.
To get a great deal on Honda, named most trusted brand by KBB.
Family portrait.
Summer clearance event is on now at your Honda dealer.
You do a lot
3
of
generations.
things great, but parallel parking isn't one of them. They're either too far from the curb or too close to.
Come on, let's go for a walkie. Come on. Have a nice day.